about horror films is that they literally have the power to change how you live your life. Because of Jaws, people stopped going to the beach. Because of Psycho, people stopped taking showers. They said that people, after The Exorcist, people were going to church in droves. What horror movie most changed how you lived your day-to-day life?
Oh, I haven't seen that many horror films because I can't watch them because I'm a complete scaredy cat. But there is one movie that completely terrified me, and it's Chucky. And I don't like dolls, and I don't like.
Yeah, shot in Chicago, actually.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that that set me in a course of never watching horror movies ever again.
Which, as a kid growing up, when you have dolls all over the place,
Absolutely,
that can be...
and I was young. I probably I have a bunch of older siblings, and two of them kind of forced me to watch it when my parents were at work.
As is the job of older siblings.
Of
That's
course,
what you do.
as it
Yes,
is. So I
I'm an
can't
older
even be
sister.
angry at them, but maybe just a little bit.
What about you growing up?
I'm not a big fan of the genre either. So I don't go to movies and pay to be scared. So I only hope we're not the ones to blame for the lack of tourists going into the mountains of Romania. Specifically to this castle.
I find it funny, though, that you guys say that you're not a fan of horror movies and then you make something like this, because actors have always told me that you're not actually really scared making these because there are cameras all around and you're cutting in between. But I'm curious, if I were to rewatch this movie, what would be the moment that I would see you actually being most genuinely afraid on camera?
Oh my gosh, I think there's multiple moments. For me, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of the projects I've worked on, and especially The Nun, with working with such beautiful production design and the special effects, makeup, and they also love the practical effects. I was terrified quite often. I mean, when you have Bonnie Aarons in full demon makeup, like coming at you and screeching in your face, like that's all real. I'm already worked up. To be honest.
So, when you go to the premiere, you're not a fan of horror movies. What is a premiere like for you then? Is it a miserable experience, or do you enjoy actually getting to see the final product?
I haven't experienced that yet. And we will on September 4th in Los Angeles. I hope I can be graceful on the red carpet, on the black carpet. But if I stay through the film, chances are I will just, try to.
It's very discreet. Just put your hat down.
Just pull that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like a boom.
That's why you have it.
And I'm not a big fan, not because I don't like or have any respect for the genre. On the contrary, it's just that it is too much for me. I can't stand that.
Right.
Yeah.
This is horrible. I love watching horror movies with people that don't like horror movies.
It's
I
very
love sort of
entertaining.
seeing-
It's
yeah, exactly.
very,
It's
very
horrible. I know.
entertaining.
It's a horrible thing to
No,
say.
it's not, because it makes it even more enjoyable.
I like seeing people jump and get scared.
Yeah.
You mentioned Bonnie Aarons, who does such an amazing job in this film. I'm curious, in between takes, on set, what your relationship with her is like. Are you cracking jokes, or does she keep a distance to sort of kind of keep that kind of that fear going?
No, see, at least with me, Bonnie definitely did not have to keep her distance to keep the idea of her terrifying in my mind, because I was terrified of her no matter what, and her favorite game was to scare Taissa on set.
How did she do so?
Just popping up behind me, just like coming up next to me with her demon teeth and contacts, and she's like, and again, I'm a baby, and I just quiver. I quiver in my boots.
Did she ever jump out at you, or did she?
No, she knows I'm Father Burke.
Oh, fair enough. Well played.
She wouldn't go near him.
You don't do that with Father Burke.
And also, when you've got an Oscar nomination under your belt, then you don't get scared.
I mean, you can do that, but
Is that the requirement?
That is part of the requirement.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Which is
happy to
coming
know
soon.
that.
Now you know.
Now you know. One day.
I better work hard on it.
No, but I mean, you can mess with me, but you will get hurt.
Intentionally
That's
or
for
unintentionally,
sure.
like flailing arms because you're scared, or are you just gonna duck?
Yeah, exactly, because I'm gonna go.
It's so funny you mention that. So for people that can't tell right now, we're actually in a nun convent in the outskirts of Mexico City, and there are nuns walking around while we're getting ready to do these interviews, and I'm so afraid I'm going to punch someone.
Faceless.
They're faceless nuns walking around. I'm going to genuinely punch a nun today.
Please don't.
I'm trying not
We're
to.
in a convent. I mean,
Please
come
don't.
on.
And then there's your headline: Chicago reporter fired for punching nun in Mexico City.
Yeah, no, please no.
I'm doing my best
Please
not to,
don't.
and I keep telling them you've got to back off.
They're good nuns, unless you do something wrong.
If you look at them the wrong way,
I'm
can't
just
promise
going down.
anything.
Yeah.
I'm just going down. Well, I'm here and I'm talking to you guys, so I must be doing something right, guys.
Yeah.
An absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for having fun with me.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for geeking out with me. I
Thanks a
really
lot.
appreciate
Of course.
it. So I know growing up, you worked on special effects when you were like 12 and you're in your parents' bike shed and you used to make Super 8 films with your friends and you were obsessed with 70s and 80s horror films. If 12-year-old Corin Hardy could see you right now, what would he say?
I'm sort of doing exactly the same movie that I was doing when I was 12 years old, just with like a proper, professionally with a team of people, because we used to write movies that were, these Evil Dead kind of movies and these Friday the 13th kind of movies and, demonic movies. So it would be an extension. I think I'd be very pleased to know it's possible.
I think 12-year-old you would look at you right now and go, well done. Well done. You done good. Yeah. So I've read a lot about the production of The Exorcist growing up, because there's so much about what happened on set, and so many of the crew and cast, they talk about supernatural things that happened on set. Was there anything that happened during the production of this film where you paused and sort of went, what the hell was that?
Absolutely. I mean, it always sounds very convenient when I say this, because, but I am actually quite a skeptical person. I love the creation of horror and storytelling and imagination that comes into it. But I'd never had an actual brush with a supernatural entity until I filmed The Nun. I entered this very dark room where my monitors were, and as I walked into the room, I saw these two men sitting. I thought they were Romanian sound crew, and as I kind of went, I gave them a nod. I wasn't sure whether they would speak English, and we had quite a mixed group of people on the set. And I turned my back to them, I watched the monitors, I was trying to get the take. It was quite stressful, obviously, trying to make sure you get all of these camera movements right. I finally got it, and I sort of punched the air in the dark, turned around to say, did you see that? We got it, and there was no one.
No!
And never had been anyone there. So,
no!
And there's no way in and out of this room. It's like a little pitch black cell. So it was,
dude, I've got chills. I've got chills, man.
So yeah, but I had to keep making the movie, obviously.
Right.
I couldn't stop and go, everyone wait a second, I've just had a...
I was saying, how do you go back to work after something like that?
I literally did this. I'm on my own, I go like, yeah, did you? And then I see, and there's no one there. Then I get chills. Then I'm like, wait a minute. And then I'm like, well, we've got to keep making the movie. So I couldn't tell anyone.
Right.
Got on with it, carried on with the shot. I couldn't go out and stop Taissa.
But in the back of your head, you thought, this is going to be the best junket answer ever.
No, I didn't even think anything of it, and actually forgot about it, And then by the evening, I think, we're having drinks, and I said, oh yeah, something happened today. And then talked about it, and that's when I got kind of freaked
Nuts.
out. And actually, then I've forgotten about it until talking about it now.
I have been bragging for weeks about coming out here and talking to you guys and being in this convent, which is insane. 99% of my friends and family are like, dude, that is incredible. It's going to be an amazing shoot. You're going to get great stuff. My Catholic grandmother was not pleased. She said, you need to stay the hell away from that movie. You shouldn't be going out there. You don't know what's going to happen to you. Not happy.
Well, we're quite high up.
Yeah, exactly. Or did you have any friends or family that were apprehensive about you taking on this movie?
My friends and family know me pretty well. And I actually grew up, my mother's aunt was a nun, and we used to go visit her in a convent down in England where we used to live. She was a very jolly nun, not like our nun. She was good fun, but no, I mean, it is something which I think as a kid growing up and being obsessed with horror, that I had to go through a certain kind of explanation to my parents of why I was, kind of obsessed with these dark things and these monsters and stuff. But I think they've grown to understand it, and they've seen some of the movies, and they wished me well.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, those wishes turned out pretty well. As we finish, I know you're a big fan of growing up on the 70s and 80s horror films. Yeah. If you could sit in a theater next to an iconic horror director, watch The Nun, and then when it's over, lean over and ask, all right, so what do you think of it? Who would you like to sit next to and show it to?
I'd love to show it to Wes Craven.
Yeah.
And there's a lot, with George Romero, Tobe Hooper, and Wes Craven particularly, you're suddenly aware that these great masters of horror are not around anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I never got the chance to meet them. So, but I'd also be terrified to show anyone I really respected. And
well, you have a lot to be proud of, and I'm sure that they would love it, man. You got to get John Carpenter into a theater and show it to him.
Of course.
He's going to be out there and around in a couple of weeks. Hey, man, congratulations on everything. Really, thank you. I appreciate your time. Thanks for sitting across from me, man. Yeah. Thank you so much.